Kidnapped, walking the scene with you in no flicks from the 90s. So keen, the VHS Club, they're the talk of the town. Breaking it down, spreading nostalgia all around. Moving and grooving to the synth-pop sound. Their insights so fresh, painting pictures profound. From Pulp Fiction to Clueless, they know it all. The genuine love for movies stands strong. Unfolding memories on that VHS screen, talking about classics like you've never seen. Katie with her charm, Matt with that wit. Together they make the VHS Club legit.
Welcome back to the VHS Club. Happy Thursday. Hey,
We're here.
We're here. We did it 2 weeks in a row. Look at us go. No, knock on wood,
Go
no
team.
catastrophes yet. And to make it even more special, just for me, for literally no one else, we are doing one of my favorite childhood movies, which apparently you all hate. So we're going to go through it. Tonight we are doing The Gods Must Be Crazy. You know what is really, really funny? So I rewatched this one a couple days ago. Have been a little bit crazy busy over the last couple days. So I earlier than normal watched it with the kids. And I was like, I guess I did have in the way that you had the weird childhood where you watch movies that were way too old for you. I watched the weird, I don't know if it was my dad or I watched the weirdest collection of movies that no one else seems people barely know, but some people do. And we're very I was thinking about this one. I was thinking about there's a movie called Frog. Do you remember Frog?
No.
Okay, so
Not at all.
That one I rewatched with the kids. This probably should also be on our terrible movie list, but I rewatched with the kids maybe a couple years ago. I couldn't even, it was like Cocoon. I couldn't even find it anywhere, but I had this fever dream memory of watching it. And it is similar in that the storyline is bonkers. So the storyline for this one's bonkers. The storyline for Frog is that there is a science-y teenage boy who is super into reptiles, and his family for some reason lets him have a preposterous amount of reptiles, way more than normal people should have. And he
have money.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It was the 80s.
They're expensive.
Yeah, no, his whole basement was just maybe they had a pet store or reptile. Anyway, I don't remember the full details of it, but he somehow accidentally no, he doesn't turn into a frog. One of the frogs is a Italian prince who was turned into a frog, and he has to get this frog kissed in order to become a prince again. But the frog sings.
I guarantee I have not seen it.
Like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Yeah.
And our whole
I have that on vinyl.
Yeah, I just have that song ingrained in my head of an Italian
God,
frog
did I see
singing
this?
it. Yeah,
I think I've seen this.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know.
Well,
but
I couldn't remember if I've seen The Gods Must Be Crazy, but then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh,
I'm sure we have.
I did see this a few hundred times with you. Yes. I remember it now. And I vaguely I understand why I'm it wasn't part of my current memories.
What?
And it's not because it's a bad movie. It's I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think So first of all, one of the reasons a lot of people probably haven't heard about it, it's not a North American movie at all. It's a South African movie.
Yeah.
And Disney just only recently got rights for, I think it was Fox that, like, was it Fox or Sony? I don't know. Somebody else had the rights to distribute it globally. So, anyways, whatever. It so it's not from here. It's a very different movie. The humor is very different from our like normal Western humor. Like the whole like guerrilla warfare rebel army part. I'm not sure. Like, kidnapping is a little not funny to me, but Google assures me that that is part of the joke. That's the comedy. That's the satire. And I was like, well, I'm not from there, so I don't get it. But it seems horrific.
It is like, I will say, so you will hear me nostalgically, fondly remember this movie, and I did absolutely thoroughly enjoy watching it again with the kids. And I do think that it's like, it like, regardless of whether or not it is a good movie, I don't know if it's I honestly can't tell you whether or not I think it's like a good movie and gets a good review from us, but it is one of those movies that like, it is so wrapped up in like my like family history and memory that I will always enjoy it. But I will say that there certainly is controversy around this movie because it does not, exactly as you were saying, like, it was made during a time of war. It like glosses, like, it's just this like very kind of like cutesy, silly movie. It is not,
I mean, I get
it does
the
not
satire,
do a great
and they make a joke.
Of handling.
They make a joke out of they make a joke out of a very common and bad situation from certain countries. And like, I can honestly say we're very lucky we don't get it. Like, we don't get the joke because we have not lived through that.
Yes,
and it's like, maybe living in that environment or growing up in that environment or hearing about it even in neighboring regions and countries and states and stuff, it lands more as a satire. It could also be the time, like, came out in 1980.
It came out like in apartheid.
For me, I'm just like, this is horrible.
It definitely has
but they handle it in comedic ways.
Yes.
Like,
So I did.
You have to tell us about the plot.
Yeah. Well, before I do that, I did want to highlight. This is wild. So this film actually has like some like. I don't think I can define it as a cult classic because I don't think that it actually like has quite the cult to be a cult classic.
No.
But Paul is saying that this film ran for 532 consecutive days in the Oaks Theaters in Cupertino, California, setting a record for the longest uninterrupted run of any movie in Northern California. And I want to say that like, so just before we kick off with the plot, which is wild, I've been describing it to everyone that I know this week, and they're all like, what? So this movie was released in 1980. It was filmed in Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. And it made over $100 million worldwide, despite having zero famous actors. Like, even the actors that were in it were not famous in Africa either. Like, it was like not famous actors at all. And it was for years,
I feel like
it was the highest grossing African film internationally. And like, like, apparently this movie became one of the most successful foreign films ever to be released. So like, it's not for being like a ridiculous movie. And many of you were like, this is a bad movie, which again, you might be right. It did well, which is wild. Like,
I think the thing about it when we were kids that we loved about it is that, like, we didn't have the internet in the 80s. It was a way for us to see a different part of the world and a different way of life that was just radically different from ours. So it was very beautiful for us to see like such a deep cut of foreign countries, you know, like such an extensive and sort of local, very localized story, you know, that exploded all over the world. So like, I get why it did so well. We didn't have Planet Earth back then. We like very young David Attenborough. The opening is practically David Attenborough.
So the plot, if there really even, there is not much of a plot to this movie, but this movie, which is about an hour and a half in length, the plot, if you will, of this movie is it takes place in the Kalahari Desert, and it's set up and starts off like it is. It starts off, it feels like a documentary. There's a voiceover. It's like describing this desert. It's describing that like literally like hardly any animal can survive there. And then we get introduced to this tribe of people that they refer to as the Bushmen. And they are just like this like almost utopian type society. Like it's a small, like predominantly family unit. They all like live in harmony together. They are like somehow able to like survive in this like incredibly remote, like dangerous landscape. Like animals piece out of here, and these people are able to like somehow find water. They're able to find food, and you're sort of like understanding them, and they just seem, even like rewatching, and again I've probably seen this about 100 times or more, but rewatching this time, like they just seem so lovely, and like you said, Nat, like it's this idea of like, oh my gosh, like is like, and this is a true story in that like there are communities of people like this that live like this, and so they have no idea of the rest of the world. There is, and it was also 1980, so like there really was no like TV, internet, newspaper, other cultures. Like they were like literally just themselves and the animals, and then maybe I think they said like every couple of years they might bump into like another family cohort from the same like larger group that they might see for a bit, and then not for years on end. And so you're introduced to this group of people, and they seem lovely. And then, it juxtaposes that against this like crazy busy, city and like the chaos of city. And it makes it it's again, all documentary style. So the voiceover is saying like, beholds like these people who get into these vehicles and they go to work, and you're like, yeah, we're ridiculous. Like, why are we not all living in the desert and like and are in harmony with each other? And then there is the moment that builds this plot where a low-flying airplane, typical jackass business guy flying in a low-flying airplane, tosses his glass empty Coke bottle out his window, which like, thank God didn't just like kill one of these people below, but it doesn't. It lands in the middle of this community, and it's like a gift from the gods. It's the coolest thing that they've ever seen. They can it's so practical that like it's hard enough that they can like use it to make, to open up roots, to make things. They can like it helps them smooth out the snake skins that they're making into things. They can use it as an instrument. They can hold water in it. Like it is remarkably practical, that literally the garbage that we throw away, or these days recycle.
A glass jar.
A glass jar.
A bottle.
But it becomes obviously chaos for them. Like now there is one thing in the community that they all want, and they've never had to share anything because no one has had any kind of ownership. So it becomes this horrible thing. And the leader of the community, who is like my favorite part, like I just like the connection I feel to this man. Like he is just, I don't even mean this to be patronizing. Like I know it sounds patronizing, but he's just the most like adorable, lovely person. Like he just like embodies that. He's like, this is evil. I don't know why the god sent this. I'm gonna take it and throw it off the end of the earth. And so he goes on this journey again. Like they speak a language that no one else understands, or very few people understand. And he goes off on this journey. And what's crazy about the movie is like that is the majority of the plot. He's off on this journey, and obviously like a ton of hijinks ensue. He encounters, there's as Nat was saying, there is war going on. There are these like vigilantes that are like killing people. There's like all this battle and war going on. There's a scientist who's out studying, who's a bit of a nincompoop, and he's incapable of talking to women. And there is a beautiful woman who decides that she's going to quit her newspaper job or her news desk job and become a teacher.
Her journalism job.
Yeah,
and she
in this
becomes
small
a teacher
village
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's the entire story. And like, and maybe the more I do this show, the more I realize like the type, what type I'm into. But like maybe it's just that this movie is so slapsticky, and like there's almost no dialogue in this movie as well. Like there's not a lot of talking. A lot of it is just like physical, like physical humor. It's very like just silly. There's, it's all like
there's also a lot of the landscape too.
A lot
like
of
it shows us
landscape.
a lot of like through his journey going, I guess we'll say inland, like towards he comes across civilization. So as he's walking, he comes towards civilization. And then with the journalists and the scientists, like civilization is going sort of towards him and they sort of meet in the middle, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
And like as we're going through that journey, we see a lot of the landscapes and like the changing landscapes and how these landscapes meet. And it's kind of the movie's more like it's very visual. Like you said, there's not a lot of dialogue, especially since that guy who like half the movie is this guy trying to pick up this teacher to drive her to the school, to the small village, and he can't do anything right when he's around a woman because of severe anxiety. Yeah.
I did look up. So there's this scene between the scientist and the teacher. And I shout out to Chad. Chad is watching, and Chad says, "Don't forget to close the gates." There's this scene between the scientist where he is asked by the local reverend to go and pick up the teacher at the bus station and bring her back to this small remote village, because he has like the only barely working vehicle, and the vehicle is like not working at all, which is typical for like, and he's a legit like scientist out there studying like all of these wild animals. Like he's got like a great job. He's a super super nice guy, but it goes like horribly wrong. And I did look, I feel like I have now looked this up every single time that I like since the internet came about, whether or not rhinos. So he has all these scenes where she like thinks that he's like basically trying to like assault her, and it's not. He's just a complete idiot, and he's like trying to help save her life basically. One of these scenes, she's sitting like out by the fire, and a rhino comes in and like stamps out the fire, and the narrator guy says that like little known fact that rhinos, when they see like fires, will put them out. And I was like literally Google searching like, do rhinos put out fires? True? And it remembered the last time that I had searched in rhinos, and it's still not true. It's apparently not at all true. It's only mentioned in this movie, but I did find that one.
It's a cute bit in the movie.
Fact. Yeah, it worked out well. It worked out well in the movie, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about, honestly, I think, and I think I've looked up tons of the pronunciations of these names. So the Bushmen, which I have no idea if that's an offensive term, so please forgive me if it is. But their community they're called Xhosa, Xhosa. I think it's pronounced Xhosa, and the character's name is Ki, Xi. But I think he is just like, there's something about like their greeting where he just like holds out his hand, and they have this click language that is just like the most like beautiful and like and then of course
it seems so complex because it's like they
so
have words, like they have words, but it's mixed with clicks, so it's like very like multi-leveled at the same time. I'm like, I don't know how it's even possible to speak like that. It is really beautiful to see.
Did you see? So after last week's episode, Doc is magical, as we all know, but Doc sent me a text message with a video clip of Trevor Noah, who can speak Xhosa, Xhosa. And so I watched that whole video, and he's like magically good at it. Like he was like singing in it, so it definitely is possible. But yeah, literally the kids while watching were like, there's something wrong with like the DVD, it's like
the audio.
Clicking. And I'm like, no, that's the language.
That's
and they're like,
the language.
No, I'm like, that's the language. And I think that there's actually like a few different click languages, but yeah, it's so melodic and like, and then made like better by the fact that the narrator, like, so then instead of I was saying this to Josh earlier today, because we were talking about like having a hard time following some movies that have subtitles. And I was like, this one actually doesn't have subtitles in it, because you have the narrator who is like translating for Key's character. And I love that like there's all these scenes where, again, which I mean, I assume to some extent is probably totally does not stand up today and is not politically correct, but his character, who again like has never seen other people outside his only like his own community and family unit. Like when he initially bumps into the teacher and the scientist, they are like very pale white people, and he like thinks that they're like gods,
Hideous.
and they're like and they're hideous, and like she's putting on like all these like she's putting on like a slip and a dress and like all these clothes, and he's like there it's like I think he called them like spider web, like she's like
it's like fabric woven out of cobwebs.
So like his reactions,
he calls her fat, which like the woman is like 85 pounds soaking wet, right? And he's like, she's so fat.
She's way taller than him. She's fat.
So the tribe is described as very small, like they're very small in stature, and because they probably part of
living on like
they don't drink or eat a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's probably part of that sort of evolution from where they live. But yeah, so they're very tiny. So he, at one point when the rebels decide to kidnap all the kids from the school and the teacher, the scientist and Key, and they go to help and rescue them. And because he's so tiny, they dress him up like one of the kids in one of the kids' clothes so he could blend in with the kids. And he uses his little I guess poison.
Yeah, dart.
So like they don't actually they have like a potion that puts the animals to sleep, so that way they can speak to the animals and ask for forgiveness for having to kill them to eat them. Yeah. So he has this potion with him, and he has a little mini bow and arrow, and he like uses like a sewing needle to like poison all of the guerrilla rebels so that they can go to sleep and the kids can escape. But it's interesting like how they're able to integrate him in because they're like with the kids, because they're such a small stature of people.
What's wonderful about him is that like he just like quietly and perfectly saves the day in every conceivable way. Like they keep having these moments where like so the teacher and this whole community are kidnapped, and like the government is trying to like they're like evacuating all of these like it's a huge issue. Like it's an entire basically town that has been kidnapped, and there's you know all of these different issues, and the scientist and his friend are out doing their work basically with Key out there with them. But I love that like every single moment throughout like their interaction with him are these like moments of like they're like, well, you know, like are these people able to like track animals? And they're like, yeah, they're the absolute best. Like they're like the absolute best at like literally everything. It's like they can like track better than anyone. They can like hunt better than anyone. They know like the land better than anyone. Like they
don't have any tools to rely on, so they've had to learn how to listen to their environment. So there's this one scene that I found like really sad. Is as he's coming like traveling to the end of the earth to throw the bottle off the end of the earth, he sees a herd of goats, which it's very clear that the herd of goats is part of a farm. So he comes across a farm. He doesn't know what a farm is. So he like blow darts one of the goats so he can eat. And the kid that's watching the herd runs off, goes and gets the police. He gets arrested for killing this goat, which I'm like, technically the goat was just asleep. But anyways, he gets arrested and he has to serve 3 months in jail. And the assistant to the scientist does speak this click language.
So his name we don't have. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I wrote it down and I did not. So we'll call him the assistant.
The assistant. He's asked to translate in court, and it's hard to translate because there
are no words.
Community doesn't have words for guilty or bad or wrong
or like
because it's not something they've ever experienced until the bottle got dropped. So so they put him in jail, and then the scientist and the assistant have this moment. It's like, oh, he was sentenced to death because he won't survive being enclosed indoors for that period of time. So they find a way to get him out by saying, oh, he'll come and work for us, and it'll be like a convict work release program or something. So then they try to like get him to help out. It's like, oh, is he a good tracker? Yes. Like, because they want to keep him out of jail. Anyways, it was both, it was nice, and it was, I could see the cute humor in it, but also it was really sad because it's like he probably would have actually died.
Yeah, I do think like that scene, and that, like, again, I know that this movie has problematic moments. I'm not gonna deny that, but I will say that, like, I do think it actually does a really beautiful job of making it feel, which justifiably, like civil, like the quote unquote civilized people are not better. Like, there's this, this idea of like, just because we are civilized and we live in these, huge cities, and we have laws and rules and systems and technology and all of this stuff, it hasn't made us better people. And there is still just this like breakdown in humanity. Like, here is this person that like doesn't even can he really?
They don't even try to understand him.
Yeah, they don't even try to understand him. Yeah, like, and
then it's like he doesn't eat for a week, and like we learn that they typically don't eat a lot. Like at the beginning, we're told that they don't eat or drink a lot. So it's like the people are like, oh, something's wrong with him, and it's like, well, maybe not, because that could just be his normal diet.
And he's also like, I'm sure, totally disoriented and confused, because again, can you actually convict? I don't know, it does raise some like interesting questions. Like, can you actually convict someone of a crime if they literally don't know that it is a crime?
That
like
crime exists,
and they don't like there's such a communication breakdown that they literally don't know that what they did was wrong. Like, I know that that's like way too deep to get into a movie made in 1980. That's a slapstick silly movie, but I do think like I'm glad that they left that. I'm glad that they intentionally put that scene in. Yeah.
It's part of the satire part of the movie, where it is poking at the sort of machine and the humdrum of like the globalization and the westernization of a lot of communities, and urbanization is what I meant, of certain countries and stuff like that. So
Chad is saying to bring it back up no, Chad's hanging out with us. Thanks for watching. He says the tree and the winch scene was also hilarious.
So the car, which has like two nicknames, Son of Malacca and Antichrist, is what they call the car.
Valid.
Because the car takes like 5 men and a horse to get started, and they're like, basically you can never turn the engine off because you won't get it started again. And it gets stuck in
and there are
a
no
river.
Brakes. So he can't stop it, and he can't start it again if it stops. So he's just screwed if anything happens.
So it's like there's this sort of like comedic scene where he's like running after the car and putting, like, there's a gate he has to open. So he has to put like a rock, like he has to chase the car down, because the car of course rolls down the hill, and then he has to put a rock under it. And anyways, all of this, when it gets stuck in the river, there's a winch on it because it's a Land Rover, and he puts it up in the tree to pull it out of the water. And of course it gets like stuck all the way, like 20 feet up in the air in the sky. And I'm like, how is that one little branch holding that whole Land Rover up?
Impressive.
But okay.
African trees are much stronger than American trees, apparently.
Really? Like my stupid Chinese elm that I have out front, beautiful tree, would not hold. Like, it doesn't hold a piece of paper.
The kids did think that it was funny, so the character, I think his name was Andrew Stein, unless I'm confusing him with the like tour guide bad guy, but or not really bad guy, but kind of bad guy.
Just smarmy.
But he's constantly saying ay, and the kids thought that was like the funniest part like of the little dialogue that exists in this movie. That is like his kind of his thing that he says over and over and over again.
The first time, I think it was the assistant that kept saying "Son of Malacca." And like basically, which translates to like "a son of a bitch" sort of thing. And I remember now that we used to say that all the time because of this movie.
The things that like the things that come out and
like,
stay with you.
We used to do that all the time. Like, we probably shouldn't have been saying that. And I'm like, isn't that also, I looked it up. I'm like, it's not, it's Greek. Like, it has nothing to do with with South Africa, but
Who knows?
it's just randomly Greek. But the assistant seems to speak several languages, so who knows?
We get like this really like almost in other like serious moments in this movie. We do get a really like beautiful story from him as well, where he explains like that he basically ends up like almost dead, like out in the Kalahari Desert, and is saved by the Xhosa tribe. Like, so he is like that is why he is able to like to speak the language, is because like, again, this like like utopian perfect community, which I'm sure that they're not. I'm sure that they have whatever, but like, but it does like do this really, I think, beautiful job of setting these people up as just like so giving and so generous, and like there is this really like perfect story of like why he has this ability and why he's able to basically translate for them. But I do love their relationship. Like, I love the scene where he is teaching Key how to drive and the look of just joy on his face as he's just like doing like crazy circles around is absolutely wonderful. I honestly could have just watched 2 hours of him just like wandering around in the world and reacting to things would have been like equally pure for me. It like, there's just something, I don't know. The greeting gets me the most because there's just something about like the like it almost again, this probably makes me sound terrible, but it's such it just seems so like kind and like so opposed to like, it's so different than a handshake. It like almost feels like alien. Like, it's so different from what you would expect. Like, he just like walks up with his hand in like this crazy like clicking sounds, but it's so like sweet and nice at the same time. So
yeah, it's kindness. Like a handshake can be used. It can be weaponized, right? Like it can be used with certain intent. Handshakes can be like firm or aggressive, or like thinking, I'm like, oh, there is somebody with small hands who's known to try and like have an aggressive handshake. Anyway, so it is a nice contrast to that sort of, again, Western sort of concept of a handshake.
Yeah.
Because it's like very non-aggressive and very just very kind. It's just he's like, I find he seems very empathetic and very kind, and his kindness and sincerity comes across, which that's why they cast him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's a good looking guy. He's just has such a very kind face and like a very sincere expression. So it was a good casting call.
It's so sad though. So the real life story. So another thing that this movie gets a lot of flack for is that so he this actor who's, forgive me, his name I still do not know how to pronounce, and it's like N exclamation mark XAU, I think. He was actually from the Xhosa like from that community, and they hired him, and they supposedly, so there's some debate back and forth, who knows where the truth lies, but the director and the producers of the film claim that they underpaid him because he did not have any need for money. Like, so almost very like, I guess that scene in the movie where like they give him, because they have to like pay him as part of this work release program from prison, so they give him a whole bunch of money.
They wanted to thank him
at the end to thank him, but he has no use for it, so he literally just like takes it awkwardly, and then as he's walking away just like lets it go in the wind. Supposedly the actor actually did that in real life, but they drastically underpaid him compared to what they paid the other actors from the
like, couldn't they figure out something else that
I know, so it's hard to say,
but also you don't want to be
lies.
I'm like, but could they really have given him anything that would be helpful?
I don't
because
know.
Like a single bottle causes all this issue, right?
Yeah,
like,
I know. Yeah, how truthful
what could they have done?
The story, but so the
because you don't want to be
creators like, claim that they did it right, but the like other people are like, well, he was underpaid, but he died really young. He died at like I think
in his 50s.
He was in his late 50s of tuberculosis, which is just like awful. So, and then there is absolutely. So I own the box set of part 1 and part 2 of this movie. So there's absolutely a part 2. But when I was researching, there are like four of these. I was like, there's 2 others that I have not seen, and one was like, The Gods Must Be Crazy in China, and I was like, does that mean it's in Chinese? Like, is that like a translated version, or like are they in China? Like, I don't.
Is it like a different
like tribe
of
Oh, here's
people.
Paul.
Like,
Here's Paul to help us. So his name is pronounced Nikau or N-cow, starting with a sharp. Oh, see, I don't even know that. So I can't do the click. So I'm just I don't want to horribly offend anyone. So we'll go with Nikau. Nikau. Yeah, I don't know. I think like there's something about him and I can't even describe what it is other than like there's just a joy, like a joy and like an innocence from him that
yeah, he's very enjoyable to watch. Like he made the movie,
Yeah.
you know, like it's because it was again like that just kindness and sincerity that came through. Another scene. So again, like this sort of side story of the rebel guerrilla thing where they like blow up some government building and a bunch of
they
people
kill
die,
like 6
and I'm
people
just
at
like,
the yeah.
and then they like blow up a helicopter, and I'm just like,
Mpudi. I don't know how to pronounce his name. M apostrophe Mpudi, and his like group of bandits.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's not based on anything that was happening at the time. It's not based on any true story. It's just a common.
I was gonna say it, but very true to the area, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm like, oh, that's really dark. I'm like, I don't see the comedy in it. But I'm like, but also again, like I said earlier, I'm like, I just don't have that life experience. Like, thankfully, again, it's a lot of privilege with that. But I mean, sometimes it's like something that some of us can relate to. Like when you have chronic illness, gallows humor is quite normal.
Yeah.
Like other people find it very jarring.
Yeah.
It depends on your experience, right? So I'm like, there is like that whole section of the movie where I'm just like, it doesn't even need to be here. Like it's kind of like we don't need to know anything about this. But
I was trying to think of like another. It is an interesting style of movie as well, because you have like these 3 completely separate storylines that are happening. You have like you have the rebels and the war basically that's happening. You have you have Key and getting the bottle off the end of the world, which he does. Spoilers. He throws it off the end of the world. He saves the day.
His people. He saves his family.
He saves his family. And then you have Andrew and Kate, the teacher and the scientist in between, and the storylines do all come together, and that trope is like pretty common in a number of dramas, but I can't think of another like comedy or slapstick I can't think of another comedy that kind of thing happens in, and it goes for quite a while.
Also,
where
like
you're like
part documentary.
Yeah.
Like with the sometimes narrator who's not always there.
Yeah. Supposedly
he is there often to translate for Key.
Yeah.
Which is, it's funny, like the dialogue, he's like, and he thought that was ridiculous. Like it's really, it's funny, but
I think it makes it probably more lighthearted than if they were to do subtitles, which I'm glad that they did. It
makes it more consumable for a global audience.
Yeah. This is a crazy fact. Paul says, well, working 14 to 18-hour days for months on end and with no days off, director Jamie Hughes suffered a heart attack during the post-production process. Jeez. Ugh. An assistant editor from Hollywood was hired to assist him while he recuperated, and the assistant editor was never acknowledged. Oh my gosh, that's awful. That is absolutely awful.
It was the 80s.
It was the early 80s. For some reason, I thought this movie was like 88, 89, which is what the sequel is. This was 1980 on the dot. And Randy's hanging out with us. Hey, Randy, thanks for being here. Randy says, I remember my old man used to get so mad when I stuck my peanut butter sandwiches into our VCR. Fun times in the 90s. Yeah. Yeah, that would cheese me off.
That's expensive, Randy.
Yeah. They were not
my
cheap
parents would have been so mad. Like, that's really expensive.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely.
Not going to Blockbuster tonight.
Nope, not at all.
That's funny.
Scrolling through my notes here to see if I missed anything. So there is a note that said that the opening narration, which was inspired by wildlife documentaries, gave the film a playful observational tone. Yeah, I think it. Yeah. I really did like it. I don't know. And like that was such a popular maybe it was just me and my family, but that was like a popular thing at the time and going like through into the early 90s as well was this idea of like watching wildlife documentaries,
Well,
watching
also
like
National Geographic was
yeah.
big then.
Oh yeah.
And that's how we couldn't look things up on a computer. That's how we got a lot of information.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. Hey
it's
to
like the
Alex hanging
National
out.
Geographic subscription magazine that you would get at home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. If you were rich,
and
you
they
would
always
get
came
it.
with maps.
Otherwise, you would
Like,
get that at the library.
yes, you'd have to, like, you couldn't even take it out. You'd have to, like,
Yeah.
you could look at it there.
Yeah. We used to buy old copies of National Geographic for like craft projects. So that was like the, the thing that you could
Yes.
try to find. Wait, Chad. Chad is saying now that he has his pilot's license, he has to redo the scene, the Coke bottle scene. Don't redo the Coke bottle scene. Someone will die.
No, don't hurt anybody.
Will die. Yeah, the parts where he like tries to throw the bottle back up so the gods will take it, which is just like, so like silly to us, but also like I was like, oh my gosh, like it's gonna fly down and kill someone. Like, don't do
Like,
that. Yeah.
knocks a kid unconscious,
Yeah.
his daughter. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, that was my like parent. I was like, I can't look. I can't. It's coming down. Well, there's probably not a ton other to say about this one. Do you think this like it? I know we always ask like whether or not this movie holds up. Honestly, like it is weird because in some ways this does hold up, but then in other ways
I
it
mean, yes
doesn't
and
at all.
no.
Like it
Like,
is,
I would say no because a lot of like the funny bits between
valid. Yeah.
the researcher and the teacher were inappropriate. A lot of the joke was, oh, because she's female. Like,
Yeah.
the reason she quits her job is because instead of being able to write about the teacher shortage in this small tribe, her editor tells her no, it has to have like sort of keywords like sunshine and fluff, whatever. She was only allowed to write fluff pieces because she was a female journalist. I'm like, those, like, there's stuff that doesn't hold up, but
Yeah.
and again, like now we have much more like extensive knowledge on the type of guerrilla warfare that happens
True.
in African countries, and I mean countries all over the world, but like now that we know more, like when we first watched the movie, especially when we were kids, like there's no way we would have known that any of that was real without our parents having told us like, oh, this stuff really does happen.
Yeah.
Which also like super fun conversation for a parent. Here's this really cute, funny movie. Also, by the way, all the terrible things that happen when all the people get blown up, that's for real. Like,
Yeah. Although I will say
Um,
that, like, and I don't know if it's just that from watching movies like this or from school and National Geographic or the news and whatever else, like,
yeah.
I definitely
I mean, we
grew
did
up
know.
aware that there
Yeah.
was like that we were lucky to live where we did because we didn't like that there
Yep.
were places around the world, including multiple places within Africa that were experiencing this kind of like
In
unrest and
Canada.
war and
Like,
yeah,
let's-
yeah.
but yeah, no, we're lucky. And so anyways, I think the movie could hold up maybe with a couple of little tweaks.
I think that the pacing and
The
like,
overall
and
concept,
the
yeah.
concept and the like the physical humor of it all holds up. And I will say it is, I don't know, I feel both ways about the portrayal of the I guess the nickname for them is the Sand People, but or the Bushmen or the Kosa, but like I guess like I feel like the portrayal of that I could feel either way about. Like I feel like they were both like well portrayed, but then I do also appreciate that they like
Yeah.
could have done a better job with it. Like I don't, it doesn't come off
Like,
as
they weren't maliciously
mean-spirited or
portrayed in
malicious.
any way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Unless
There
I'm
was
just misunderstanding
no-
something, but yeah.
Like, they didn't put them down in any way. They didn't say they were lacking. It did heavily imply that we are lacking and they had it right. You know, like their way of life was like, there's this one line at the beginning where it's like, and nearby, like X number of kilometers away, there's this bustling,
Yeah.
tribe of people, and it shows like an urban city. It's like, and the narrator's describing it as like, we've come up with ways to make our lives easier, but we just didn't know when to stop. So it's like, and we just kept building and building, and and so it really does kind of put our urban societies down a lot more, which is like, that's the satire, that's the joke, right?
Yeah, and it is. I mean, it really is to some extent like a piece about the dangers of consumerism. Like, I mean, this is one of those movies that like, as silly as it is,
I mean, it's a Coca-Cola bottle.
You could write a paper about it, right? Like, you could do a lot with it. So it is. I don't know. It is interesting, and it's funny. I was trying to think back, and we all know how terrible my memory is, but like, I don't remember. Again, like, I'm now very aware of the fact that like, I guess my family watched all kinds of weird movies. But I don't remember when we first watched this or why this like stuck with. Like, I don't know what it is about this movie that stuck with me the way that it did, but it absolutely has all the way through. And like, the DVDs, the movie collection that I own now. Like, I didn't even have to think as to whether or not I had this. Like, there's like a number of movies where I'm like, obviously I have this. Like, I spent some time at some point in my life, like, where I was like, no, like, these are the movies that are important to me. And for some reason, this one is there. And it is funny, like, why, I don't know if I could answer, like, why we cling to certain movies, or
why did we watch this so often?
Why did we watch this initially? Why did we watch this so often? What about this?
Well, I'm sure we watched it initially because it's what was available, like either on TV and like, Dad taped it, pausing during the commercials.
Everything was out at the video store, so we were like, why not this one? It looks fun.
Well, also, but it was hugely popular too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So,
although like, I probably didn't, if I'm like, so 1980 is before either of us were born. So like, I probably like watched this when I was maybe, we
probably
like,
watched it when the sequel came out.
Yeah. Like 8 or exactly. Yeah. Like, I feel like I was older. Like, I remember watching it. So I would have been.
I remember watching the sequel.
Yeah. I definitely remember the sequel. Yeah. I don't know. It is, it is interesting.
And I remember not liking it as much as the first one.
No, there's something about the sequel has an ostrich and two little kids in addition to Key and his kids. So it is cute in that there's kids in it. And I remember being absolutely terrified of ostriches on the other side of it. I was like, ostriches are crazy. You don't want to mess with ostriches.
They're very big from what I understand. Like, they're wild animals. They're very large. I have no interest in coming across one.
Inaccurate things that I've learned from movies. Rhinos put out fires. Ostriches will kill you. Yeah. It's too funny. Chad is saying the cleaning of the windshield scene was also funny slapstick. Yeah,
there was a lot of great physical comedy. Yeah. Like, when he finally picks the teacher up and he gets back to the gate that he has to open, which of course the gate is like the full length of the road. So it's not like you could easily open and close it. Yeah. And the car is on a hill, so it's like rolling down, and the teacher is still in the car screaming. She's like, oh my God. He's like, don't worry, it'll come back, because it's like goes into like sort of the basin of a hill. So it's like back, as it rolls down, it can't go all the way up the other side. So it starts to come back. Like, little things like that were really, really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like, it is like, he's ridiculous, obviously. And if I was in that situation, I would have been like, it would have just been like surreal.
Oh my God, at the end.
But also like
at the end of her
could
campsite.
Help a bit more too. Like, she's like overtly.
I think the culture shock of everything for her.
Yeah.
Like, she's stuck on the side of a not actual road. She's just stuck by a log, which indicates road here. Yeah. With her luggage, and she's just waiting for hopefully somebody. Like, she's in the actual middle of nowhere.
Wearing like a basically like see-through like white dress, and I was like, really? Like, you're
like a linen dress. Yeah.
No, I don't even think it was linen. It was like the thinnest like possible material. I was like, really, of all the things to wear, like there is the whole place is just dirt. Like it's just this was like the weirdest outfit to wear. Yeah. out of all of the clothes.
And
It's
like little heels,
Yeah.
which
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
and I mean I know that was just the thing that women did was wear heels.
It was part
back
of the
then,
joke,
but
yeah.
but jeepers, I was like, you know what I would not be doing, wearing heels at that point. But oh my gosh, well we've gotten to that point. What do you think? This is difficult because the fans think this is the beginning of our bad quote unquote bad movie run. I don't know. I had ChatGPT pull together a rating system. Do you want to hear what it suggests?
Yeah, sure.
So it says that 1 potato means couldn't wait for it to end. 2 potatoes.
It was pretty long. Katie, it was not an hour and a half. It was like an hour and 59 minutes, by the way.
Not an hour and 59
so
minutes.
Was.
All right, I gotta look it up.
It was an hour and 50 something minutes.
Wait. We got. I'm live fact checking. An hour and 49 minutes. Basically an hour and a half. It was basically an hour and a half.
Just shaving off.
Okay, so Nat got 1 potato. She couldn't wait for it to end. 2 potatoes.
No, that's not true.
Interesting, but not something I'd rewatch. Okay, that's 2. 3,
but I have rewatched it.
A solid, enjoyable watch with plenty to like. 4,
yes,
a uniquely classic film that's funny, memorable, and worth rewatching. 5, an all-time favorite that still sparks laughter and conversation decades later. This is not necessarily the rating system we have to use every time, but I thought we might need some help on this one. So that was the.
I think a solid 3. Like we've rewatched it. We enjoyed it a lot when we were kids.
I think 3 is probably accurate. I think with plenty like see, I probably if I have to rate just for myself. I'm probably at 4 because I definitely have revisited this movie a number of times, but I will
like I feel like
3.
I've watched this a lot just because of you. I did enjoy it, but I'm like, I think the 100-time rewatch was all Katie.
All me. And now I have to watch the sequel. I've got to go all the way down. Yeah. All right, hey, everyone's with us. We have Paul gives it 3 champagne bottles, and George is rating 3 potatoes. Pretend they're Coke bottles. Okay, Paul. Deal. Pretend they're Coke bottles. I gotta live update my review. All right, I gotta pull off 1 potato over here, and then for our vertical viewers, 1 potato.
How does it look in the vertical?
It looks good. Okay, we got 3. I'll put 1 down near you, Nat. I know Nat can't see the vertical view, but if you're hanging out with us on the vertical,
pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, this was fun, and I'm happy that I avoided all of. Everyone was like Howard the Duck, but so let me tell you, I agree with you. Howard the Duck is horrendously bad. I hate that movie so very much. I did have to watch it with my friends over at Cinema Psychos, so if you want to hear my review of it, you can go over there. Maybe we have to rewatch it here, but I feel like there's other bad movies.
I feel like that's not going to happen. You're like, I'm not rewatching this stupid Howard the Duck movie.
I have not yet, but I will drop into the show notes and into the YouTube description the link over to that episode, because what was funny about it was Brian and John over at Cinema Psychos, who are the nicest, like most incredible people. I love hanging out with them.
We always have a good time.
They were like, come on the show, like, and I was like, great, I'd love to. What are we watching? And they're like, and they do, they review movies, newer movies as well as older movies. So they were like, oh, we've got to find an older movie because you guys are the VHS Club. I was like, great. They're like, have you seen Howard the Duck? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I knew nothing about it.
It's Marvel.
They're like, it was the first Marvel movie. I was like, sign me up. And so like at no point in the conversation did it sound like it was a horrible movie or a movie that Brian and John didn't like. Like the way they were talking about it sounded like a movie that they liked. So I sat down, I started watching it, and I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, what am I going to say on this show that's not like offensive? And as it turned out, they also didn't like it. So it ended up being like an incredibly fun experience because we just badmouthed how silly the movie was. So it was fun. It was fun to review.
Yeah.
But I had a moment of panic where I was like, oh no, I'm going to go on this show and they're going to expect me to like say thoughtful things about this movie. And I just hated every second. It's so wild. It's a wild ride if you have not seen that one. Josh is saying he's got nothing for this. He's with everyone else. He has no interest in seeing this movie. Totally fair, Josh. We like you anyway. Chad is saying it is 4 rhinos. Excellent rating. Chad and I are on the same page. We have the same humor. And Paula's saying that Josh needs to live on the edge. No, it's fair. This is a safe zone. We can all like and dislike movies together. So we haven't picked next week's yet, Nat. We are not all the way there.
Didn't we have something that we were going to watch that we mentioned last time? And then we're like, we have to do this one first. We might just need to rewatch last week's episode.
Well, we did do Fargo with Cinema Psychos as well, but we were like, we should redo that one because it was such a fun time. So we could do Fargo.
No, I feel like there was something.
We could do more bad movies. We had some more. We had some more bad movie recommendations. Yeah, we'll have to look through them.
We've talked about it
we could do the Room
a lot.
And I will say, Nat updated the movie list. So if you go over movie list,
a few more.
100 something more. Movielist.thevhsclubpod.com will take you to our movie list, which is like fabulously updated, visual, searchable, add to the listable, all the ables. So yeah, Nat added a whole bunch more, which was super fun. So yeah, so that's we have some options to look through. All right, well, we'll all give it some thought. You as well, Tater Tots. Give this some thought.
We'll post it. We'll post
let us know.
Or take a suggestion.
Yeah, we're taking some suggestions.
Maybe The Room. I feel like we do need to talk about Johnny at some point.
Yeah, we should do The Room. Dane, what are these ones? Are these like snails? Ladies? I'm too old to like look closely.
It's somebody waving.
Waving? Is it a wave? There are three of them. Three. The consensus is three.
Are they wearing headphones?
Maybe. Now that we have access to all these new YouTube emoji and characters, the world is our oyster. Well, thank you all for humoring me in watching this one.
It was fun. It was a fun rewatch.
It was a good rewatch. It sparked joy for me this week. So I appreciate a bad film. And look at us. It's not a 4 or 5 star rating. So it checked all the boxes, everyone. We still are on the quest for that no potato or one potato movie. But we'll find it. And if not, then we'll finally do Howard the Duck, which is absolutely 0 potatoes or half a potato. It's like it's the potato of death. Howard of Duck is just the potato of death. It's the potato of death.
Yes.
Well, thank you to everyone, and as always, we are still running our game. So we don't have a winner yet. So swing over to game.thevhsclubpod.com and see if you can guess them all correctly. If not, I guess I'm going to have to make them easier.
I lost.
Sorry, y'all. I thought that they were easy enough, but maybe not. If you guess them all correctly and email us, we're going to take everyone, unless there's just one. We'll take everyone and enter them into a draw to win some of our VHS Club merch. And again, you can always send us your movie recommendations either by email, or you can check out our movie list and submit them that way. And make sure that you're on our email list so that when weird and wonderful and wacky things happen, that you know what's going on. And you can find that over our website as well. But thank you all for your patience and for always making it such a fun show. Yeah, a moldy potato, Paul. A moldy potato. Yeah, we're on the hunt for the moldy potatoes. You know the one. It's squishy. Doesn't feel good. On that note,
put your hand in the bag of spuds and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, not a good one.
It's when your thumb kind of goes through one. Ugh.
Yeah, that's what that feels Augusty to us. So we'll see you in August for the next ridiculous movie review. And thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah,